Hello and welcome back to Coritiba. And I do apologise for missing the last stream on Wednesday. Something came up and unfortunately I was not able to do it. If there is anybody here, I've had some problems setting this up today. So if there is anybody here in the chat, could you let me know that you can hear me and that you can see the pictures and that everything is fine for you, your end? Because I've had an awful job setting this up through YouTube. The edit button didn't work. I think they've got a new system, a new page layout, and everything looks a bit odd at the moment to me. So I think the way I used to set it up is not going to work. So I'm going to have to work on that over the weekend. Okay, so there doesn't seem to be anybody here at the moment, so we'll just crack on. I'm going to put it on my phone for a second then and just check that everything is working okay. I'll just pop over to YouTube and we'll bring it up on my phone just to check that everything is actually working okay. If I can see and hear on my phone, and my phone doesn't have very good internet now. Ah, boy, it's not my night tonight. But we'll crack on, and in the hope that everything recovers. We have 2 cup games today for you, and the schedule is getting pretty packed, in all fairness. It's a very, very packed schedule at the moment. We've got all sorts of cup competitions going on. We've got the semi-final of the Paranese Cup against Londrina. We know about Londrina. They are a bit of a nemesis, and I have a big game in the Libertadores just a few days later against Alianza. And then we are going to be playing in the 3rd round of the Brazilian Cup, and that's going to be a week later. So we've got all sorts of cups and competitions coming out of the woodwork. We will be starting in the Brazilian Serie A, probably against our toughest opponents that we could have to begin with. So everything is starting at the same time. I'm hoping that we're going to qualify from our group. We've made a very, very good start to that. And we are doing extremely well. I think we are top of the table by a long way, and if I can find the table it will be good. But the Libertadores table, there it is. We are top with 3 points clear of Goody Cruz from Argentina. We beat our top rivals in this group, the favourites to win the group, Alianza. We beat them quite comfortably, as you can see from the schedule. We beat them by 4-0. We've had a quarter-final of the Paranese Cup. We beat them by 3-0. You saw us beating Londrina last time out. And so we're all set. And I'm going to, I think, play a very rotated team today. I've got Gobetti in goal with Heidegger, Marcus. Mustafa will play both games coming up. Then I have Haverton and Victor Luis. Victor Luis comes in because I'm very short at wing back and I have to rest Cipriano. And I've then brought another young lad in. He's called Tecco, and we may get the chance to see what he has to do today. We've got Helinho, who's in top form at the moment, with Naldi. David, Boschilla and Shettin will play up front. The transfer window is still rattling along, and there's been a little bit of movement. We've got rid of Cordova at last, and another young boy went out on loan. But we did bring in a striker. We've brought in Jose Pineda for £725,000. He was cheap, and he is a good player, I think. I'd like him to play, I guess, as a deep-lying forward. He could do that job, although his aggression and bravery are not that great. probably going to start him off for the season as an advanced forward. He's come in as a star player at 20 years old. He looks a good prospect though, and hopefully I'm going to get some goals out of him. He's got good finishing, he can dribble, he's got a very good first touch, he's quite strong, his physicals are very good, his mentals need a lot of work. But he's still only 20, so we can work on those. Although he has decent decisions, his off the ball is decent, his work rate is decent. He's not that bad and could improve a great deal. So we're hopeful, and the fans are very hopeful, that he's going to have an excellent season. And I can see that there are people coming in and out. If you are there, can you just let me know if you can see and hear everything? That would be so cool if you could let me know. In terms of today's opposition, we know what Londrina are about. They're a very, very good side. It's the semi-final of the Cup. I don't want to play my first team. I would rather my first team play in the Libertadores. I'm taking a big risk that we get knocked out in the semi-final. The club vision is for this cup that we, I think, is to reach the final. It's always to reach the final. We're one stop away from the final. I'd like to think that we've got enough in terms of our players to do that, and I just feel I had to rest players. I'm looking at getting in a left wing back. I still have money left, and the sad news of all, the biggest and saddest news of all, is that Kumela came to me and had a chat and said, "Hey boss, I want to leave. I want to play with better players." And I was a bit offended by that. And so my favourite superstar, I could not persuade him to stay, and he had to agree in the end. Okay, we'll let you go. I want to try and adjust his transfer fee, because at 14 to 20 million, that doesn't represent good value to me. So I want to, he has a 59 million. He would not be happy. You see, this is the problem with 25 million. Would be happy at 23 million. I guess he's not somewhere. He's not someone, we'll put it at 24 million. He's not someone who I need to desperately replace. We could sell him. He's just such a great player that I don't want to sell him. That's the problem. And he would be a big miss. But I do have very good players like Aguera, and David is a very good up-and-coming player who's in form as well. He's got an average rating of 7.6 at the moment and can't get in the team. Maxi Alves. And there's just so many. Praxedes, Oliveira is another great youngster. So we are blessed with young players who I do want to develop, and I'm gonna have to let Kumalo go. I kind of always think that he is. I do need to check the sound. I kind of always think that he's older than he is. He's still just 19 years old. He just seems to have been around forever, and he's such a good player for 19. I think I might have made a mistake that when my assistant manager wanted to make him vice captain, and I thought he was a bit young to be vice captain, so I didn't go with it. And maybe that was the mistake that I made. He just feels that our team is not good enough. And I kept telling him, we got some really good young players who are coming through here, but he's not willing to wait. And he actually said, one of the interesting things is that he did come back at me and say, "I don't want to trust kids." He's just 19 himself. And thought that was a bit strange, but there we go. It is likely we are going to be losing Kumelo. We don't really need to replace him. we could find a really good left wing back for the money that he brings in. But we got to focus on this cup game. Londrina, they cause us problems all the time, and I'm hoping they're not going to give us much of a problem today. We've just set up as we normally set up. We're going a little bit, we're going to play him balanced early on just to take a look at how the game works out. Always a good idea. We're going to be seeing our new striker coming off the bench at some point, I would think, for his debut. And as long as this goes well, I won't have to use the big guns off the bench, the Maxi Alves. But we do have players on the bench who are very, very capable. And we've made the better start here. Things are looking quite optimistic as we go into this game. We've got a little bit of an injury crisis at left back, and I still don't have Riquelme back yet. And he has been a big miss over the last couple of months. And Cipriano has done the job pretty much himself at left wing back. And done a very good job, but he needs a break. So I've brought in Victor Luis today. And hopefully he's old now. He's 32, 33 now. But hopefully he won't let me down. And he'll be able to run up and down that touchline because he hasn't played much, bless him. And let's hope that we can get a result here as Helinho goes bursting forward. What a lovely young player he is, but I'm not quite sure what he did then. He threw a little bit of a dummy to himself. And we are passing it around nicely. And can Haverton put it in? No, he can't. And is this going to be one of those games where I am going to have to work out how to score? And already it's looking a little bit like that. We're totally controlling it, and maybe it's time to think about, let's try and get some goals here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna push the line up. We started with, we've already pushed it up. I'm gonna close them down a little bit more, and we're going to keep that as it is. We're going to just continue what we're doing there, but I'm going to go to a positive mentality where we're definitely in control of the game. And Londrina just continue to cause me problems. I've always had a problem with Londrina. I have nightmares about them. And they're giving me a problem again in this cup semi-final. I desperately want to get to the final. It's a competition we can win. And is that a penalty, ref? He's given us offside. This is a competition that we can win, and I expect my boys to win. And I won't be very impressed with them if they don't. And well done, well done. Held him off nicely there. Mustafa needs. I think the tempo looks a bit. It looks a bit slow. It looks like they're a bit lazy. I'm going to demand more from them. They should be playing at a much higher tempo, and they seem to be playing quite lazily. That's a lovely pass out to Haverton on the far side. He is playing fairly wide. And Haverton is a danger, and he's hit the post. He's had 2 opportunities. Helinho is always a danger, and it's bobbling around in there. And we still can't find a way through, despite the fact we have been the better team by a million miles. And I want to win this cup, boys. Come on. And don't make me fret here, because we've had 5 opportunities, and none of them have been on target. And we possibly are going to be seeing, good save by Gobetti, we're possibly going to be seeing our striker sooner rather than later, our new striker. I need someone to step up here. And I think what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to push him up to an attack duty. I'm going to put the Segundo Volante on an attack duty. Get him higher up the pitch. Get him making some runs near to the penalty area. And try and break them down that way. If all else fails, I'm going to have to look at possibly... They're not defending deep. Possibly bringing on the new forward. He's got extreme pace. And if they're not deep, then maybe we can get him in over the top. So I don't need to pull them out. They are not playing deep at all. We're getting in behind them. It just looks lazy to me. And there's another opportunity, and it was somebody should have put their foot on that and put it in the back of the net, but it looks poor. Even Helinho doesn't look like he's got on his best balance today. And if we don't break this before half-time, they're going to be in big trouble, this team. They look slovenly tonight. And I don't want this to go to extra time and penalties. I want us to do the job in 90 minutes. And as a manager watching this, I am not happy with them. I'm really not happy with them. Am I incomprehensive? Yeah, we are. There's not many highlights for comprehensive, and so it just indicates to me we're not playing very well. And I don't really want to bring the big guns on. We should be winning this. But how many times have I said that lately? We should be winning it, yet we can't put the ball in the back of the net. Shatin, was he offside there? I thought he was. Yeah, the linesman has got his flag up now. He is offside. We're coming up to half-time, and I'm really not happy with them. And they need a goal here in order to stop themselves having a right rocket. At the back, we've been fairly good. We've just not put our chances away. We're also not creating too many chances, and so that's something that I've got to look at. They're not defending deep, and so that's not an excuse that they can use to me. Their line is, they're probably using a mid-block by the look of it. They're not getting banks of players just in the way at the back. Come on, Helinho. Nice little pass into Victor Luiz. Come on, we're in. Come on. There's a chance. Not Haverton again. Haverton can't get it into the box. I'm going to tell Haverton, he is already told, to shoot less often. I'm going to say yes to that because our open play is not good. So let's try and get a few set pieces. I've noticed my set piece coach has been working some new routines of late. So hopefully we're going to get what we need out of this game. We've had all the game, all the match momentum. We've had all the play. We've been pretty much the only team on the pitch at the moment. We're playing the game in their half, and I just don't understand why we can't break them down at the moment. We've got so many bodies up there. It might just be a case that up front we're not strong enough. But here's another chance. Low cross into the box. He's gone on his own. He's chipped it over the crossbar. Oh, Haverton. He's come back into the side. He's on attack, is he? I might switch these over at half-time. Switch over the wing-backs. And again, that looked like a penalty to me. I've seen those given in FM, but the referee's not on our side tonight, and we've been very poor, absolutely very poor, and I need to be telling them that we simply have to be better in front of goal. Now, if you say that, you've got to help them out, and I'm going to swap these two over, just see how that works out. We're going to swap them over. But Boschilla is having a shocker, and Victor Luiz, funnily enough, is having a shocker. I'm going to put Victor Luiz on attack and put Haverton on support. We're going to change the direction of the way that we're playing. I'm also going to bring Naldi over to here, and we're going to move the Volante over onto the right-hand side, so that we've got him moving around this attacking mid, as well as the wing-back coming up into these areas. I'm going to ask to get further forward. Actually, I'm going to put both wing-backs on attack. It's taking a gamble, this. I'm going to leave myself short, but they don't look very dangerous. And And the Segunda Volante didn't actually go on to attack when I changed him into an attack role. This is very attacking now. I'm going to go attacking and just try. And Shatin needs to have a rocket. Boschilla as well. And Victor Luis. Shatin, I might change his... You've not been good enough. And I might change Shatin's role here. What can I play him as? I'm going to play him as a pressing forward on attack. And see how he gets on with that one. Maybe the deep lying forward role he didn't like. And maybe it was pulling Shatin out back too far, which was leaving us short. I am going to leave myself open at the back, but it's a risk I have to take. I don't want this to go to extra time and penalties and have tired players then for 3 days before the big game coming up in midweek. We've got to really do something and try and win this game. Londrina give me nightmares. They're like my bogey team. And they're only in Serie D. We are, although the attribute difference between the two teams is minimal. There's very little difference in terms of attributes between us and Londrina. And I wonder why they're in Serie D. I need to have a look at what's going on here. Nobody is causing us any problems. And we are just simply not being creative enough. And I'm going to take the blinkers off now. We're not going to play for set pieces. That's not working. We're going to take that off and go for width. They're both on an attack duty. And we'll go for it. We'll go for width. Try and get down the sides. And then... if nothing happens in 10 minutes, we've got to get some of these nutters off. Because Shatin is playing very poorly. Boschilla is terrible. And Victor Luis, those boys are going to have to come off. I've got a young kid on the bench, Deco. It might be worth giving him a shot at left wing back. Sometimes when you've got young kids, this is the time you should play them. And you never know what he's going to do. But I've given them now every opportunity to score. We're getting so many bodies, or should be getting bodies forward now. And then again, it's a poor effort. I do not like Londrina. Londrina are just a dreadful team for me to play. I'm going to berate them now, I think. This is not good enough. Boschilla tries an effort but flies wide. It's almost time to bring on some different guns here. We're not creating enough, and we're not getting the chances we're creating on target, despite the fact we've been camped in their half. And I'm actually thinking about one of the wide centre backs, maybe on the left, because it's so comfortable. But we'll let this corner go, and then maybe it's time to make some changes early today. They're not tired, and it suggests to me they're not even trying. They think that this is a piece of cake, which it's not. So David is probably my best player with Naldi. At least they are creating stuff. And I want to look at maybe pushing one of these up on support. And let's overload the right-hand side by pushing up the wide centre-back. He can't play it very well, but we'll push him up into that space. We're going to have 3 or 4, 5 bodies in that space. Let's overload that. Or actually, no. Let's put him back on defend. And let's push this one up onto support. We'll switch back Naldi and Helenio Now we're going to overload the side that David is playing on. And we're going to give a debut to our new striker, who doesn't seem to be on the bench. Where did he go? The assistant has taken him off the bench, has he? Oh, well, that's interesting. So I'm going to bring on Perotti. Boschilla is not playing very well. Oliveira can come in there. Victor Luiz is not playing very well either. So Tecco can make his debut today. And let's see what happens with a different striker up there. Perotti, in terms of his role, I'm not quite sure what I will play him yet. Oh, again, over the top of the crossbar. I don't know how many ways I can think of to actually score goals, but something is not working. So we're going to have to keep plugging away, keep trying to figure it out until we get the goal. And if we do enough tweaking, then hopefully we will solve this. Perotti, I'm going to play him as an advance forward. Let's get him more forward. I really don't know what else to do. Helenio Haverton is not playing very well now either. So let's bring Edu on the right-hand side. And I need to keep one substitute in case of injuries. And I can't push any more. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players pushing forward. I've got 2, and I've only got 2 defending. So I cannot push any more forward. What I might have to do is come back into a mid-block. The only thing left to me, as far as I can see, is to play in a mid-block. Or maybe what we can do is slow the tempo down. It's possible they're snatching at the tempo's too high and they're snatching at it. And if we slow it down, play a little bit more controlled. Although I don't see how I can go any slower than this. They are really lazy today. Lazy is the word. And is that a corner? Yeah, it is. I'm going to push the tempo up for 10 minutes, see if that makes the difference. Because they look lazy. I want them to really go at it now. Again, it's bobbling around in the box. We're just camped in their half. It's Londrina are so annoying. They're like my bogey team. Do you guys have bogey teams? Oh my good lord. I don't even know if chat is working. Is chat working? Could somebody let me know? Because I have absolutely no idea that the new YouTube setup is working at all. It was a nightmare getting this set up tonight. But I did miss Wednesday and I thought, well, we've got to go for it. And if there is somebody sitting there, can you just type something in the chat? Let me know if it's working. Oh, come on, boys. Come on. This is not good enough. Decent cross, back post, going nowhere. Now they are defending deep. And now it's possible we will have to just drop the lines back a little bit, try and pull out. I mean, they're all over the place here. They're 6 bodies back at the back. And so what I'm going to do is I am going to go into a mid-block and try and pull them out. And see if we can't get behind them that way. We've got 2 attacking wing backs. And that's the only thing left to me now, is to drop the line. I could go wider. But again, we still cannot, even though we're getting so many bodies forward, we still cannot. And this is the danger, where I've only got 2 back. I had a funny feeling with Londrina today. They were going to give me a really hard time, and they have done. And my goalkeeper doesn't look too happy at the back either. They have given me an awful time today, a really tough time. And I'm going to go wider. Let's go fairly wide now. Let's go a little bit wider. Got to try anything to open them up. I mean, they don't look to me like they have any threat in them at all. But I certainly don't want to go to penalties. That would not make me happy. There has to be a way to open up this team. We've got 7 players breaking forward now. That's got to be enough. And what's happened there, referee? Has he given a penalty? I think he's given a penalty for something, has he? He has. I don't know what. I must have missed that. But he has given a penalty. Now, Perotti is known for missing penalties, but he's got that one. And finally, we've opened them up. Oh boy. What a day. Finally, Perotti has done it. And I guess when this happens, you just got to keep going, keep tweaking it. And I need to act quickly here now, because I'm going to go back to positive, and I'm going to change some of these roles back. We don't need to go gung-ho now. I'm going to put him back on defend. And we're going to put Teko back on a support duty. We'll keep these two the same. And I think that will do for now. I do want to keep attacking them. Try and get the second goal. I don't want to now sit back and let them come on to me. We're still gonna play in this mid block because it looks a little bit more dangerous. Is there a chance here? Perotti has a chance and he can't put it away. I'm so happy I've got a new striker because neither Shatin nor Perotti are looking very good. And they have got him behind us. And they are going to get a goal. Oh dear. And FM is a cruel mistress sometimes. And our unbeaten run, I think, possibly could come to an end tonight. FM is a horrible mistress. And I think we've got to go for it now. We've got to just go back to what we were doing and go for it. And I'm really tired of Londrina. We have to be able. I'm going to run at the defence. Ask them to run at the defence as well. Distribute quickly. We'll keep the low block. And we'll take that off. We don't need to do that. And we probably don't need to trigger press as often. They really aren't doing anything to cause us any trouble. And it's just, I can't get these boys to play today. I want to make sure that we are going to have our wing-backs back on attack. And try and open them up. Again, we're getting bodies forward. We just played badly. I've got one more substitution I can make. But this has been a very, very poor performance. And even Helinho's not getting his shots on target. David's playing okay. My goalkeeper took the blame for that goal. I don't know why he should be blamed for that. It was not his fault. And I've got one more change to make. David's been pretty ineffectual. And I have, I think, Paraxides on the bench. We'll bring Paraxides on. See if he can change the game. And I think these go straight to penalties. And FM, I think, has decided we'll have some penalties. Yes, we haven't had actually any penalties yet. Oh, Paraxides has got injured. That is lovely. Thank you very much. And now I'm in trouble. Now we're in trouble. So all I can do is that. I'm just going to stay. I have to come back one. We'll come back one, but we'll continue doing what we're doing. Losing Paraxides is a big blow. And the way he went down was a non-impact injury. It's probably a muscle injury. Could be out for a while. And that's a big blow. And this has not been an ideal game for me tonight. This has been a shocking start. And it is going straight to penalties. So Perotti, who's well known for missing when he feels like. Composure-wise, Oliveira is very composed. Marcos is composed, but he's a defender, so we'll put then Naldi, Gobetti. We're not very good penalty takers, so this might be our exit from the competition. The fifth penalty is a tricky one. I'm going to trust Helinho. Although he's nervous, I'm going to trust him. Marcos, Heidegger, Adair, Teco. Who's missing? The goalkeeper. Oh, we've only got 10 on the pitch, haven't we? We'll go with that. Get the crowd going. The utmost confidence in you. But I don't. We're not very good at penalties. We miss as many penalties as we score. I'm going to be relying a bit on the goalkeeper during this penalty shootout. And Perotti, there you go. He's well known for missing penalties, Perotti. He misses them all the time. And yet he's allegedly my best penalty taker. And I'm glad I've got a new striker in. I have a funny feeling we are out of the cup. The board are not going to be very happy. I'm not going to be very happy with this lot. They've been shocking. And let's hope we can put a few in. We are not well known for penalty taking. We miss. I think we miss probably just slightly more than we score. And it's not something I ever actually look at when I'm in the transfer market, penalty takers. I'm hoping that my new striker will be able to take a penalty. And that will solve that problem. We can get Perotti off the list. Naldi, I got confidence in Naldi. He's a good player. Confident young boy, and he's put it away. But I need my goalkeeper to step up and do something. Come on, Gobetti. This is your competition. Do it. Come on. You've got this. And he saved it. What a good boy, Gobetti. And so we're level again. But I've got players coming up who are slightly nervous. Helinho is a very, very good player. Oh, Gobetti's going next. My goalkeeper. What did I put him there for? Actually, he is usually in my list of penalty takers, and he does usually score. But unfortunately, he's missed that one. And we are behind. We have to score this one now. And that's it. End of competition for us. Not the game that I wanted tonight. I just threw the kitchen sink at them. I tried everything I know to try and unlock that defence, and we couldn't do it. We actually threw the kitchen sink at them. I couldn't put any more people forward. That was the limit, and it just wasn't enough. I tried all sorts of things, moving the lines. I tried to push bodies into the box. It just was not going to be tonight. Sometimes it just doesn't work for you. We had a rotated team. We had some young players in there who didn't play well. The wing backs didn't play well in the first half, and he's missed it. We're still in this. Are we still in this? Marcos, he can't take a penalty, that boy. I've seen him take a penalty, Marcos, but he's not very good. But he can take a penalty, and he's put one away. So now, actually, we are in front, and they need to score this. Did the goalkeeper just do his studs on the post there? That was quite cute. Come on, Gabetti. This is your moment. This is your time. This is your time. Come on. Pasquale, he's rubbish. Come on. This is your time. He's another left footer. And he saved it. And we have done it. And I think we got away with one there. We definitely got away with one there. And I don't really know what I should say. I just said we got away with that today. And I'm going to tell them we got away with it. Did they defend well? I was not happy with them. And I was definitely not happy with the finishing. And they need to know, I think, despite the fact that they're unhappy, they need to know I'm unhappy with that. And we did it, though. We had penalties per... Oh, no, 4 to 7 weeks. That's a big blow. Teco, did he... What was his form at the end of the day? He got a 7, Teco. So he did better than the old Victor Luis. So well done to Teco. And the next match is... I mean, we've got our 100% record is still intact. And I don't know how, but it's still intact. And, the schedule has altered. We now have to play the Paranese Cup final, first leg. So because we won that, they've just moved the final in there. And that will be in a week's time. So we'll advance now, see who gets injured during the week. Because somebody gets injured during the week. But I have a squad of 60 players. And my international players will be back. And so this will be the first leg of the final. And I'm wondering about playing this new boy. He's come in as a star player, and should I put him in? He's come in very much as a star player, and please, Mr. Assistant, do not alter this again. So, he may have been removed because he's on international duty. That'll probably do it. That's why I couldn't put him on. Luz. Now there's a name that rings a bell. I have a Luz playing in Italy in my Juventus save. Attacking mid. If we sell Kumalo, he would be a very good replacement for Kumalo. So we will... He's already on the shortlist. He'll be a very, very good replacement. I want to get a left wing back if I can find one. I need a left wing back. Let's have a quick peruse of this. I mean, I know they are a good team. They are a very, very good team. But again, they don't have pace, I don't think. Their pace is poor. But they are a very, very good team. And if we do the comparison and compare them to us, I think we'll find that they are better than we are. I don't know why we've got a 100% record, because most of the teams are better than we are. So we don't have anything really. In terms of their defence, they have a lot of pace at the back. And our attack doesn't have the pace to match them. And let's go back to that. Let's go back to that, because what might be interesting... I don't want the data hub. I want this. This is an interesting report. we go... Huh? So if we look at my defense, which is like 12.5 in terms of pace, and their attack, oof, I worry about the high line against them, but I can't. I'm not going to go much higher to begin with, but we'll do it that way. I think we'll just start with a higher line. Pretty worried about that high line. I wonder, like, normally you guys are quite chatty. Is the chat working? It's like, I mean, you won't be able to answer me. I can see that there are people watching, but I don't know if the chat is working. I don't think the chat is working, is it? Ah, I can see the chat now. And I don't know what's happened there. There is a problem with YouTube tonight. So I'll just say hello, Scuba, hello, Reckons, Segunda Volante, how you going? Tequila Shark, Jack Gunnell, and to everybody else. Matthew Baxter, Jack. Sorry, I just, I had the chat out and I couldn't see anybody putting anything in the chat. And there's something wrong with YouTube tonight. So I do apologize. Yeah, we were very lucky in that last game. And hey, Cyril, how are you doing? Sorry, I just did not see the chat, guys. It just was not showing up. And I should have thought about cancelling it earlier and starting again. Maybe they fixed the problem. I don't know. I don't think they'll have fixed it in half an hour. Is he actually doing well towards his target? It's very difficult to find his overall. His average rating is terrible. He's expected to get a 7. He's not doing very well, but he's pleased. But 6.88. He could get to 7. He's going to need to produce a couple of good games. I should have... Oh, transfer deadlines in 1 week. So I definitely need to look for a left back. And Kamalo, there's still no bids in for Kamalo. This will happen on deadline day, I'm pretty sure. There's nobody actually actively interested in him. I don't need to go to any meeting. We are going to reject that because Uda is part of my plans. Thanks, Cyril. That's really kind of you, mate. And you can see, I mean, if you've been watching that that series on in-game management, you can see there it doesn't always work. And I did say that in today's episode. It's just like, if it's not working, just keep plugging away. Just keep changing something. And we did, and we got the goal, and then we gave a silly goal away. But I don't know how we got through that. I was not very happy with them. And they should have been doing better. Lempek can actually go and play for 90 minutes. Cancillo can have a game. Marquinhos can have a game. Teco, yeah, he can play. And Leizinho, he can play as well. So they can all go out and play for the reserves, those boys. And this is a big, big game. The final now. We won it last year, the final, in our first season in Brazil. Whether we can win it again 2 seasons on the bounce against that team, I don't know. The game's got to be nice to you, I think, for back-to-back trophies. Or you're going to have the game of your life as a manager, which I'm feeling not great about tonight. And for some reason, things are not feeling like they are. Ado needs a rocket. And those two are just squad players. I don't really criticise too much, but if they pop up a couple of times more, then I'm going to have a go at them. I find that if you criticize in the training section too much, then you upset the players. And as morale is so important. So he's got Cipriano back, Galarza, Maxi Alves, Aguero. Oh, this is a team. That is my first team. Made an offer. No, I'm going to keep Atuesta around. He's a good player. He's probably going to complain about that, but I want to keep him around. And the transfer window, I'll need to do a little bit of business. I do have 8 million to spend, so I do need to do a little bit of jiggery pokery here. And I'd like to get in. I'd like to get in. That's normally how we play, isn't it? Higher defensive line more often. We don't want to get stuck in. Counter press. We should be able to do that. Slightly higher tempo. Standard width. I want them to be more disciplined in this game, though. It's a much tougher team. And I just want to check on my bench as well, that he's given me players in positions that I need them to be in. So we have a right back. But he hasn't put a left wing back on there. So Victor Luis can come on as the left wing back. So we have Jesus. I think we'll leave him on the bench, yeah. And then let's have a look. Naldi and David. Atuesta. Sasme, Shettin. Nah, Shettin can go on the bench. Oliveira. Where's Helinho? He's left Helinho on the bench. Not a good plan. Helinho, Oliveira. I do need another player who can play up top. We'll put Bashila on the bench, even though he had an absolute shocker in the last game. And that team should do well. Should do, if they're firing on all cylinders. It's a team I would expect to win. Really would expect them to win. Have I got him available for loan? Yeah, I need to take that off. Unavailable for loan. I want him here. I want him here. And he's part of my plans for the future, and I want him developing here. I agree with you, Jack. I also think that they get upset quite easily in this year's game. And Raquelme is back in training, which is good. He's not going to play today. They get upset at the slightest little thing. And so I try not to criticize them too much unless there is really a good reason for criticizing them. We're very secure. An A-. Well, yeah, we're 100% record. You should be pleased. And in fact, the strange thing is, this is not a very good team. As I said in the video this afternoon, looking at these results, if we look at where is a game in Serie A, and go to the season preview, we're expected to finish in 10th. That was 12th, so that forward must have raised me up a couple of places in the pundit's mind. So this is not a good team. So we're doing well in terms of getting results when we're not actually that good. They're too young to be that good at the moment. And no, I'm going to leave it as it is. No last minute changes. We're not going cautious, and we're not going to tackle these boys harder. And I do want your advice here. And I'm looking at my bench. Has he altered my bench now, or has he left it as I had it? Atuesta, Helinho. I've got some very, very good players who are young, and I want to develop them. And so often I just go out and buy players when I've got players like Aguilera when I've got players like Galzara and Helenio and Adur, and I go out and buy players, and sometimes I just feel like maybe I shouldn't. But in this save, I'm going for it. And I really want a good performance out of the boys. It is a rivalry, and they do not like us, and we do not like them. We have beaten them in the group stage, but that doesn't mean anything now. A final is a final. And although it's over 2 legs, it's very important that we get a good result, because we are the away team. And if we can get a good result here today, I'll take a draw and take a draw back to our stadium. Then we'll be in good stead. A win, of course, will be much nicer. Go on, Pineda. Pineda is making his debut today. Both of my strikers are playing like lollipops, so he gets his chance. And hopefully he's going to show us that quality finishing that I think that he has. And we do have a corner, do we? That was poor defending. Who's he? And what I want to do at this point is just go and get my assistant to update his opposition instructions. It is, Jack. It's like managing a nursery, isn't it? I used to say that about some of the teachers that I used to have to manage as well. It's like working in, the teachers are worse than a kindergarten. Yeah. Get your act together. But again, we are the better team. It's just about, I think, being just patient in this game and not doing anything silly. We don't want to change too much. Just play as we play. But they are breaking forward. He's offside, if you ask me. But nicely defended by Marcos. Marcos, another young boy. I think he's 19 years old now. He is destined to be a superstar. And I'm always very wary about playing youngsters at centre-half. And he's just doing so well in his development. I was going to send him out on loan again this year, but I thought, nah, you're playing this year. You got to be in the team. And Riquelme, is that Riquelme? No, Cipriano. I was going to say, he's only just back from injury. I didn't put him in the team. And it is Cipriano. They are trying to get in behind us. I have to be very careful about that. So I'm going to ask the wing-backs to close down less. They're just trying to get in behind us, and I think it's important that they don't go rushing after their man and just let them drift past them. We've not played well tonight. It's been a strange episode. The last few episodes that I've played live, everything has gone to plan. We've not played well. We've won the first game, only just. I'd like to think we can win this one. We usually beat them. But there's always a first. And I do need to keep an eye on, a very close eye on things in this game. Because they are a good team. Let's not underestimate them. They are a very good team. We are not as good as them. We saw that in the attributes. But we've got to just adapt as they come forward. We're going to have to change our game a little bit. Nicely defended, though. Very nicely defended, but he was offside. Okay, let's have a look. Let's have a look at what's actually going on here. Can I bring this one up as well? We've had the possession, but nobody has had a shot yet. I'd say it's 15 love. They have had all the match momentum at the moment, and so luckily I'm imbalanced. There's nothing really going on here. nobody has actually stamped their authority on the game. We're being pushed back a little bit. But that's okay for a while. Let's ride this out. I don't think we need to actually panic yet. What's he given there, ref? Is he given a free kick there, is he? We need to get this momentum back, though, if we can. This has not been ideal, this episode. We're in a bad patch at the moment. And when you're in a bad patch, don't lose. Draw. If you can get draws in a bad patch, you'll come through it easily. But don't lose. And we just like stole the momentum back. It's a bit up and down, the momentum. A bit like a bride's nightie. We're not closing them down enough. They look slovenly tonight. They look... I'm going to up this trigger press. I want them to play better. I want them to have more energy, some more fire. Oh, that's better. But it is interesting that we play about 14 games, highly competitive games, before the season starts. Evening, Blob. And that must take it out of them. And they're playing like almost every 3 days. So you're rotating like heck, trying to keep the players fresh. But some players play a lot of games. Kumalo has played a lot of games. And I don't like how the ball was taken off us there. Somebody needs to stamp on his foot. Well done. Well done, Maxi Alves. And they're in, and they've put it over the crossbar. So, yeah, I mean, it's hard, because we've now got to go into the Serie A beginning, and the players are exhausted. We'll have played maybe 15 or 16 games at the end of all this, and they'll be exhausted. And so it's starting to show that it's a lot of games to be playing even before the season starts. It's a tough old run in Brazil, I've learned. They only actually get 2 weeks off. Camalo, come on. You can do better than that, Camalo. So I'm going to shout a bit of encouragement at the moment. We won't be too angry with the away team. Just encourage them. We haven't scored a set piece for a long time, so maybe it's time to score from a set piece. But again, I mean, we are looking slightly like we're edging it. But what I do need to do is make sure we're dribbling less. Because they certainly are good tacklers, and so we don't want to be dribbling. We've taken the position away from them, but they're back in it again. We need to be playing the game much higher up the pitch. And I don't think their pace is really worrying us. So we are going to play much higher up the pitch. It might be a good idea to slow things down a little bit. Just slow things down a little bit and let the players come off this tempo that they're on. We might try that in the second half. Just give them a breather. I mean, some of these boys have been away on international duty. Camalo has been away. Maxi Alves has been away. So we might lower the tempo, give them a breather in the second half. Offside. The high line does produce more offsides. I've noticed that. Oh, caught the goalkeeper out there. The goalkeeper's not very good, actually. So maybe I want to have a look at the goalkeeper. Who is their goalkeeper? Estinho. Yeah, his composure and concentration are poor. His mentals are really terrible. So what I want my players to do is to close him down. I want him closed down. because he is likely to make a mistake. His mental attributes are absolutely terrible. Doesn't concentrate, his composure's not very good. I mean, why would you buy a goalkeeper with dreadful mentals? He's offside. He looked offside to me by a long way. The referee didn't give it. I'll be quite happy if this ends up as a 0-0 draw. I'll be very, very happy. Taking them back to our place when we've kept a clean sheet will be absolutely fabulous. They're a tough nut to crack, but we are coming more and more into the game. Since I shifted the lineup, we are looking much more likely. But that was poor. That was poor. He's on support. And he's on attack. Pires is a good attacking wing back. But I do worry that we could be leaving ourselves open down that flank, and there you go. I think, just thinking about that, I'm going to bring him back on support. I want a clean sheet here today. And if we can sneak a goal, that'll be good. But I do want that clean sheet. And I was just thinking that they might sneak in behind that right wing back. This is not us playing badly. I think we're playing quite well. Given the opposition we're up against, they are far, far better than we are. And I think this is us playing quite well. So we're not. I'm not looking at attributes here. I'm looking at performances. And lovely run, Kamalo. Come on, you're better than that. You told me you were better than the rest of the squad. Well, show it. Show that you are better. What a chance. Again, acres of space out there. We do produce space out on the right. And we've got a corner. Time for a goal from a set piece. FM, please. Could we? Or a rocket from someone. Pineda's not playing very well. He's not the most aggressive guy, Pineda. So I can't really play him as a pressing forward. He doesn't have the aggression. Yeah, this is important for us. Make sure you make the fans proud. Nervous. Let's try and talk to him. You need to calm down. Is that something you'd say about nervousness? Yeah, calm down. Appeared uncertain and unhappy. Maybe he's going to have to come off. But I'm going to just try and help him a little bit. He might be quite isolated out there. So I'm just going to tell him, just sit on the shoulder. Just don't do anything else. Galarza is looking very tired, as well as Kamalo. They've been away on international duty. They've only got 15 more minutes left. So I'm wondering also, is this forward going to have a dreadful start? Is he going to be like one of those forwards who don't play well in their first season? He's very good attributes. I am going to do what I said I was going to do, and I'm going to slow things down. It's almost like shutting the shop early, starting to shut the shop early. But I want this 0-0. If we're not going to score, and it doesn't look like we are, I want this 0-0. We've had chances, as many chances as they have. It's very close in terms of stats. It's just who's got that one player who's going to produce. I do want to go to my assistant and just get him to update. Oh, See, that goalkeeper almost made an error. Well worth closing him down. He might make an error yet. But Khumalo nearly closed him down there. And I think maybe... Oh, that was poor defending. That was very, very poor. I think I'm going to have to change one or two of the roles. Let's try putting him on a shadow striker. Khumalo can come in and play as a playmaker. We'll play him as a playmaker on support. He's not having a great game, so let's just see if he can feed Pineda. And I'm going to put Cipriano on attack. I don't think they're that threatening. But Pineda's not having a very good game. He started off like he played poorly, and then he didn't react to being told to calm down. I don't know if that's the right one to say if somebody is nervous. What would you guys tell someone out of that list if they're nervous? Fire them up, maybe? I'm not quite sure which one. I know if somebody's like committing too many fouls, you tell him to calm down. Which one really? I don't really know which one it is. If you're nervous, you just need to calm down. You need to relax. I don't know. It's a tricky one. I need to think about some changes now. Khumalo, Galarza are both tired. They've played a lot of football. Well done. Aguilera's playing quite decently. At least he's getting stuck in there. It just looks like we're not playing like we normally do. There's space out there. We need to be careful of that. But then neither do the opposition. The opposition don't look like they are playing like they normally do. And is this the game just saying everybody is tired? And it's going to come down to concentration, not making mistakes, to a breakaway like this maybe. Nicely done. Marcos, he's a very, very good player. I think he's only 19. He's a good player. So now we're going to need to get Khumalo off. The question is, who am I going to put in there? The striker needs to come off. So Shatin can come on, and he can play as a deep lying forward on support. And then we'll bring David on. He's a very good player, and I want him to develop. And I'm going to play him as a shadow striker. I'm going to swap him over with Aguilera. So we'll have the... No, I'll play him as a deep line forward on attack. And then David can play as an attacking mid on support. So Cipriano can come back to support, and Pires can come onto an attack duty. And then Pires is not actually playing well, maybe because he's not attacking. And Cipriano is on a 6.2. So Victor Luis can come on for him. We'll try that for now. Galarza, and he's looking tired. He needs to come off within the next 10 minutes. He's had a tidy game, but it's not a great game. It's quite odd that normally my wing backs are flying, but they've not played well at all in these last two games. And I'm wondering, is it time to change the tactic? I wonder, is it time to change the tactic? Good evening, Mr. Twister. How are you doing? Or is David going to make my day here? He's such a good young talent. And that's why I wasn't afraid of Khumalo being sold, because he is such a good young talent. Him and Aguilera. very good players. Oh, that was close. Not close enough. It's time to take Galarzo off now. He's done well. It's time for Helinho, who also is young. So many young players. How many times have I'm going to need to use my other sub, aren't I? So I've used 2 out of 3 stoppages. Does that include this one? Or if I cancel it, yes, and now come back in there. How many stops? I've used 2 stoppages already. I've got to make both substitution. Helinho is coming on for Galarza. And Pires has had a poor game as well. Uder can come on for Pires. We'll ask the assistant. And then I'm not actually seeing anything that looks particularly threatening. Their set pieces are threatening, but I'm not seeing anything else. Kires and Sara, but they haven't really done much. We're already closing down Sires. Let's turn him on to his right foot. It's weak. And then Sara, maybe he should be tight marked. He's a good passer of the ball. Tight mark him and right foot. And just take those 2 out of the game, and then that hopefully should be done. But as I said right at the start, I would take a 0-0 draw. Not going to be unhappy with a 0-0 draw. And in fact, I'm actually thinking of closing the game down now, because I'll be very happy with 0-0. But somebody is going to score very soon. I've got this funny feeling in my bones that somebody is going to score. But even a 1-0, your 25 unbeaten run, has it come to an end? They all come to an end eventually. My unbeaten, my 100% is coming to an end here by the look of it. Unless Aguilera can unleash something. Nope, he can't do it either. They all come to an end eventually. What can I do to get players in? Let's just drag him deeper and see if he can't put David and Aguilera in. Just bring him deeper. And your job now, Shatin, is not to score goals. It is to supply David. Just want to check on their fitness. They're quite fit. They're not struggling. And nobody's particularly caused anybody any problems. Aguilera has been our best player. We need to get the ball to him somehow. We're not tired. So let's try something. Let's up the tempo. Let's just try something different. Come off that, come off that. And let's go positive. Let's go positive for 15 minutes. Let's see if we can't win this game, boys. Even if we lose 1-0, it's not the end of the world. But let's see if we can't win this game. Come on, we've got players on this pitch who are perfectly capable of scoring a good goal. It's a gamble. But it's... Oh, what happened there? Come on, close him down. It just looks like nobody can be bothered to do anything. Like they are tired. It's going to take one moment from somebody in this game. It's one of those games where it's just going to be a moment. David made a really good run then. But he was just offside, was he? Let's push him up the pitch now. Let's go. Motivational shouts. Yeah, I don't use shouts as much as I should. I'm going to encourage them, actually. Let's encourage them. We are the away team. We're the weaker team. And we are drawing 0-0. You can't berate them for that. And we've got so many young boys in here that we can't really tell them off. We're not favourites to win this by a long shot. In fact, getting 100% of wins in that group phase, I think, is extremely well done to them. But now they are looking a bit tired, and especially as they've had international football as well. Let's just try and keep this clean sheet, boys. And now we're going a little bit more positive. Maybe we can sneak a goal. Maybe if we can just sneak one, I'll shut this game down then. That's a good cross. Oh, that was unlucky. We haven't got them beat in the air. Was that a foul? Yeah, he's going to get sent off, isn't he? Helinho. Oh, you dummy. David can come back in here, I think. No, he can't. But what about Aguilera? No. Alves and Aguilera. Yeah. You dummy. And now we need to go back one. Victor Luiz. He's not a great replacement. I do need a left back. David, I'm just going to have him as an attacking mid now. And we'll have him as a deep line forward on attack now. In fact, we could put him out here. It's not been a great performance by the boys, by any stretch of the imagination. It's not been a great episode by the boys, but what I need to do is help them out here now. And dribble less, be more disciplined. Don't need to counter press now. And we'll come back to a low block. We don't need that one. Just try and slow things down a little bit. Luckily, the red card was on the 86th minute. We just need to defend well now. We need to bring both of the wing backs down. They're both on support. Let's stop that there. Yeah, they're both on support. Ader can actually play on defend now. Just defend that flank. As I said at the start, I take a 0-0, but I don't know what's happened at the moment. But when you are in these runs, it's very important that you don't lose. Offside. We just need to see this game out now. I mean, they haven't offered anything special. We haven't offered anything special. And it's probably tiredness. That's why they have squads of 60, I guess. I've got a squad of nearly 70 players. I suppose that's why they have those squads. It's probably tiredness. They didn't even get a rest. They had 2 weeks off and then they were back. What I do want to tell them now is to get stuck in, because I don't think we're going to get another red card. I don't want us not tackling now. Just a minute to go, boys. Just hold on. Pretty dire, actually. Pretty dire. Come on, referee. We're over overtime now. That's it. Full time. I'd take a 0-0 away. But Helenio has not done me any favours. You rotate them, Mr. Twister. It's the only thing you can do. Actually, my assistant, I'm going to say that's a good result. That is a good result, despite the red card. Yeah, I mean, it's rotation. My assistant manager is very good at rotating the team here. And that's the only way to do it. Helenio banned for 1 match. What does it say? Being sent off. It doesn't say what kind of tackle it was. Advisor Helenio was dismissed for a bad tackle. So we'll just confirm that then. Shettin close to triggering the clause. And they do need a rest, because there's a game coming up very soon. So that's bad news. That's the first bit of bad news we've had. But they are a very good team. We beat them 2-1 in the group phase. But as I recall, it was very tight. I had to work really hard to get that result. And I think we're going to come back for the second leg of that. So we'll come back for this game. In fact, we might do 3 next time. Because we've got Alianza, the second leg of the final, and then we got the third round of the cup. We might do 3 next time and have a party instead of just doing the 2, because those are 3 really big games. They're all getting big. Yeah, I mean, we're defending well. If you look down this list, we're defending really well. And in the matches that we didn't defend well, we've only conceded 1. So we are a very good defensively organised unit. But unfortunately, my attackers are not firing at the moment. And so I'm hoping that turning off the machine and restarting will do the trick. We have to rest them. I have to remember that they need rest. Oy. So they're going to be rested for a day. But you can see that most of them are playing games. There are some who've only played 1 game. But the games, apart from a couple who've played pretty much all the games, Cipriano had to play because he was Maxi Alves, one of my best players, Aguilera. Those 4 had to play as many games as possible. But everybody else is chipping in with game time. So my assistant is actually doing a good job in terms of rotation. I listen to his team selections quite a lot, because he'd be better at this than I am. I'd need a notepad and a pen, and it would get very complex. So we're going to be without Helenio for the second leg of the final, I think. But that's going to be it for tonight, guys. It's not been the greatest performance by this team, but we'll get better. The important thing is we didn't lose. We played badly, but we didn't lose, and that's really important. And so hopefully next time we're going to play a little bit better. I've got some work to do in the transfer window off camera, so hopefully we'll have some good news on that as well when we come back next time. Thanks for coming along, guys, and I'm really sorry about the mix-up with YouTube earlier on. I don't know what that was about. I've absolutely no idea what that was about. I think they're starting a new way of doing it, so... But hopefully it will be okay by the time we come back on Monday. So I will take my leave now, and I'll say thanks for coming. Pleasure as always, and we'll see you on Monday. Or on Sunday if you're also following the Juventus save. See you on Monday.